University of Oklahoma donors discussed ceasing their payments to the institution over its far-left biases, according to multiple contributors who spoke with Fox News Digital. "I'm not happy with where they're headed," a neurosurgeon named Christopher Boxall said. "The diversity, equity, and inclusion, which I think is better named DEI for DEI because I think that's what's going to happen because of it." The University Medical School created a diversity alliance to ensure equity was incorporated at every level and aspect of the university. "We all should be looking at who's best qualified. I don't care which race they're from. If they're best qualified, that's who should be there," he said. "Do you want that person is the top of the class or do you want the person at the bottom of the class? A lot of people don't ever ask those questions that you say, well, they graduated medical school, they're a doctor." Dr. Boxall was concerned that the university has strayed from picking the best and brightest to incorporating woke agenda into its recruitment and how that would impact patient care down the line. "I was really very disturbed," the doctor, who says he donated about $250,000 to Oklahoma University and its medical school, added. Dr. Boxall also took issue with the university using its funds for a drag queen event, a sentiment shared by another donor who spoke with Fox News. The university paid $18,000 to host its annual drag show, which a GOP lawmaker said shows a perverted agenda. Other issues of the DEI agenda included professors hosting a workshop in which they discussed promoting anti-racism and rooting out problematic ideas. A former donor named M.O. Anderson delivered a letter to the President Joseph Harris Jr. in 2021, obtained by Fox News Digital, accusing the institution of promoting Marxism. OU has embedded a Marxist-derived worldview in its colleges via so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) programs that foster racial and social division. OU's DEI efforts produce the opposite of diversity and inclusion. Mainstream Oklahomans know they will now be labeled privileged individuals regardless of life circumstances, meaning OU is not a welcoming place for all students. "As a proud Oklahoman, I cannot support the deliberate destruction of our state's future. I will not donate to OU's academic efforts any longer," the letter continued. A former donor named Susan Bergen said that its far-left curricula affected teachers trained in its programs. "We were 35 years donating, and averaging $50,000 a year," she said. In 2020, the university launched a mandatory course called Managing Bias which addressed racial identities, power, and privilege, according to the announcement. "I think that everybody ought to be treated with respect and that we ought to spread love and kindness," said John Brock, who says he donated about $2 million to the university over the years. Brock served in the U.S. Army Artillery in Korea from 1953 to 1955 and began his career in the oil business with Shell Oil Company in 1955. Thereafter, he became a successful leader in the petroleum industry. "And they have a requirement that you go to a 3-hour class to graduate, that teaches people that if you're a white person, you're guilty of racism, even though you don't think so. As a result of this course, which was implemented in 2020, he is no longer donating to the institution. And they teach people that no matter how hard they work and why people are going to keep them down. I don't think any of those things are true, in my opinion," he said. "You know, I think they call it wokeness. That's the whole problem. In the first place they don't need to people want to think anyhow. So I think the course was not harmful, which I think it is. I think it was not necessary," he added. "I think that we need to treat people equally and treat everybody with respect, spread kindness and love, reject hate and resentment and practice forgiveness." The president of the Oklahoma Council of Public Affairs, Jonathan Small said, "Students, parents and taxpayers deserve better than the continued advance of destructive far-left ideologies constantly advanced and facilitated by the employed leadership at OU. The continuance of this behavior is just confirmation that only one thing will cause the destructive behavior to stop, which is for both donors and lawmakers to completely withdraw funding until OU's employed leadership gets the message and changes course," Small continued. The university did not immediately respond to a request for comment.